It is time for the Dark Matter After Show here on AFTERBUZZ TV. We are talking Season 2, Episode 9, Going Out Fighting. Stick around.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Hello and welcome to the Dark Matter After Show here on AFTERBUZZ TV. If you have not already, go to youtube.com/AfterBuzzTV. Hit subscribe. We are also on iTunes and SoundCloud. Subscribe there as well. I'm your host, Yael Tygiel. You can tweet at me at Yael Tygiel, YaelTygiel. And I'm joined by my gentlemen, my manbots, Yumsicles.
Yumsicles? Delicious frozen
Andrew
treats.
Mena.
Hey guys, what's up? I'm Andrew Mena. If you want to tweet at me about anything I say here, or just about life in general, why not use @Andrew Mena?
Did you forget what it was?
No, I just thought that maybe if I seemed more interested, they'd be more interested.
Okay. And Tauri Miller.
Hey guys, I'm Tauri Miller. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at TauriJ, TauriJay. I'm also on the chat, so hit me up,
Hit
and
him
I
up
will
in
be
the
the
chat.
voice of the firm.
All right. That was fine.
Thank you. Thank
Guys, Season 2, Episode 9, Going
Yes.
Out Fighting. Let's start with the thing everyone wants to talk about.
Yeah.
Four and Nyx get it on.
Yeah, they do.
They get
yeah,
their
they
fix.
do. Nah.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes, though.
That said, on this ship, that does not negate, for those who are tweeting at me that means my dreams are crushed, wrong. On this ship, that does not negate the possibility of Twix happening. That is right, too, and Nyx can still get together. Why am I talking like Tari?
Because it is fun
And contagious.
Oh yeah.
All right.
All right, go. Talk about your fix.
Oh, man. Go ahead, buddy.
I just want to smack down what you're saying really quickly, and that from a story standpoint,
Yes.
I feel like from a story standpoint, I feel like it would be weird to have 2 be in another love triangle, in that she was with 3 and 1 in the first.
Well, that was a triangle. This one's not a triangle.
Well, yes, it would be if she got involved with
Sorry, I apologize.
Nyx.
It's not a love triangle. It's a
It's a love-making triangle.
yeah.
All right.
So it's like a love factory.
Yes. I think the only thing that made it worth it for me, aside from how good Nyx looked, because she looked great.
This was like the most of a sex scene that we've gotten out of a sex scene in this show.
Although, why was she wearing a top?
Yeah.
Right?
We got a fair amount of like back and like stuff.
But she was still wearing a top.
That's true. You're right. It was still, but it was more than we've gotten, is my point.
Maybe it was cold. You know?
Maybe
The
it's
rest
cold
of her
in
was
space.
underneath.
It is a vacuum, you guys.
It really is.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is crazy that they would even take their clothes off. There should be some sort of sex pod that's nice and warm.
Also,
Yeah.
Yes?
Joanna is bubbly.
Yeah.
Says to tell you that polyamory is a thing and great. So they still believe in your ships.
Thanks. Also, I'm fully aware of polyamory. Thank you.
Yeah, it's a song by Breaking Benjamin.
Great. Also,
Breaking Benjamin, the greatest president.
okay. But the post-sex scene where they're talking was so great.
Yes.
Loved how awkward that
So
was.
awkward.
And then the even better was when 3 jumps in with the "you're really going at it last night."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my
3,
gosh.
Make that awkward.
Makes it
absolutely.
And just his grin, his jerky grin, as he's just like, yeah, I know. No, I know what you were doing.
we all know
feel-
what you were doing.
You feel awkward?
Bow staffs and swords.
Is that the kids are calling it these days?
I like when
Yeah.
5 figures it out. It's like,
She's like, oh no, okay, I'm gonna, yep,
yeah.
that's great.
So guys, 2 and Nyx can still happen. So calm the F down with telling me, nah, it's over. Your dreams are dead.
I mean, they're not dead. I mean, we haven't seen the body.
Right.
But
Yeah, okay.
they're probably hanging out with Derek Moss and Devin.
They're definitely hanging out with Devin.
Uh-huh.
All right, let's talk. Speaking of 4, let's talk about his stuff that he's been going through this episode. 4 has his divided loyalties issue, and we have that nice little conversation with 6 on the Marauder, where he's like, I don't know what to do. If I had my memories, I could help, and I should help, but I'm loyal to our team, and wah, I'm whining. No? Nobody else heard the whines?
Nope. You were the only one who felt that way about that discussion.
I wouldn't describe him as
We love
whining.
him.
Sorry, Alex. I'm upset with him right now.
Okay, you're allowed to be upset, but we still love him.
I mean, he looked great. I just want to point that out.
He always looks great.
Yeah, really.
You go, Alex.
Oh, yeah. But his whole whininess, his whole storyline of how he should help his people. I guess I'm bitter. Go on.
Yeah.
Are you bitter because we've seen a version of him already that does that? Or I guess we haven't seen him technically. He portrayed that guy.
No, I'm bitter because of what he did to Nyx.
Okay. And I mean by...
Did to Nyx, I mean what she did to him.
Yes, consensually.
Yeah, so what they did to each
Oh,
other.
I
Right.
see what you're saying. I was like, her brother, that's not even a thing though.
Oh, no, but that's going to play out real fun.
Well, yeah, probably. Unfortunately. I wanted to believe so badly that she already knew
Yeah.
that he had died. There's so much in the dialogue I felt like that supported that. And then it's just like, no, she doesn't.
I agree.
I feel like it makes it a richer, slow burn though.
I guess
like because
so.
we get to see their relationship,
Yeah.
with air quotes for the
Audio
listeners.
Yeah.
And then we get to have that big whammy come in.
Mm-hmm.
So I like it. But not to say that Four is whining. I think that this really makes his character intriguing because he's the only one who actually wants his old memories, and he's also the closest to his old self out of everyone.
True.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that with what we saw in the promo, not to get into spoilers or predictions, but I think that's going to play out next episode.
Yeah.
But until then, at this point, I went, ooh, what if he's the one who betrays them? Because, like, we still have that somebody's going to betray this team.
That's
Yeah.
true.
That's hanging over us.
hanging
And
over us.
I think every step that everyone makes, we all go, ooh, what if it's that one? Ooh, what if it's that one? And that was the moment where I went, good. Yeah. Beautifully done. All right. I want to jump into the main body of the story this week, which was 2. Speaking of bodies.
Oh, baby.
Yeah.
Yes.
But before we do, I want to take a moment. I'm going to do it on the top of the show so we can really jump into the rest of the show.
Okay.
Thank you so much to everyone who's joined us. Thank you to everyone who's live in the chat and checking us out on iTunes. We ask you to do a very simple thing. Go to iTunes, subscribe. That way you don't miss a single episode. But also rate and review. If you like us, you can give us 5 stars. And if you don't like us, you can give us 4 stars. Because the other stars, they do not work. Yes. Leave a comment, bang on your keyboard, write an emoji. So it can be as short as a word or emoji, or as long as 3 lines, because we probably won't read more than that because we got a show to do. But we will read your review, whatever you type, live on the air right here to say thank you, because we really appreciate it. We are almost through the season, which is heartbreaking.
I know.
But we appreciate you. And to do that, Tauri is going to read some reviews.
Yes. It's Tauri review time.
That's a smooth voice.
Thank you. We have 3 reviews this week. First one, great for fans, 5 stars by Seraph Billy Clegane. AfterBuzz hosts are super fans. Overall, if you love Dark Matter and want to hear from the other people who love it, you will dig this podcast. If you want to hear why Dark Matter is not as good as The Wire, then this is not the podcast you're looking for.
Great note.
We should watch The Wire.
It's a good show, guys.
But also, that is a correct.
Yes,
I think, like,
that's true.
Yes.
Great,
Very
sure.
astute.
That's
This is not the show that will tell you that Dark Matter is not as good as The Wire.
no.
It's a very specific thing that someone would look for.
Yeah. I'm looking for a show where they tell me that the show is not as good as The Wire.
Which is most shows. So,
Is it? Wow.
kind of.
What a show The Wire must be, you guys.
It really well. It's mostly if you're looking for people to tell you that shows aren't as good as The Wire. There are lots of them. The Wire, you can. The Wire is great.
Okay.
Great.
But yeah, that's it.
Thank you for the review.
And just to wrap that one up, showrunner Joseph Malozzi usually participates in the chats, so there are often inside hints, which is true.
Yeah.
Very,
He is not here today.
That's
so
true.
Tell him we were great.
Yes. Tweet
Yeah.
Joseph Malozzi and tell them we're your favorites.
Also, ask him where my shirt is.
Yeah. Tell him to put us on the show.
All right, calm down. Girl, you need to calm down.
All right.
Some favors were all thrown out here.
Give us
I
some
just want
cars.
my shirt.
All right, number 2. It's D8, so I'm assuming it's date.
Oh, nice.
Yes, 5 stars
is
by
it-
Rob Edgin.
Is it a happy face?
I don't.
Is it a sad face? Is it a screaming face?
I don't know.
It's
It's
Does he have
a
a
D and an
face?
A. It's a D and an A.
Okay,
D and A.
go.
Date.
I think that's a screaming face.
Go.
Oh my! Yael was right.
What?
The other stars don't work. I usually watch the after shows on YouTube live if I can, and I have to say the chemistry between you guys and the passion you have for the show keeps me tuned in. Plus, Yael is me whenever hotness is on the screen.
Thanks.
Nice.
I think
You
the
go,
best
girl.
part was when I said Yael was right, and I went, what did I predict that was right? Because I'm usually way wrong.
It's true.
I like to predict things that are wrong.
Me too. Remember when they were werewolves?
It's never too late.
I did think about that this
Yeah.
episode.
Yes.
Yes, good. Thank you. Date or D8 or screaming face.
Rob Edgin. Rob Edgin.
Rebedgen.
Rob Edgin.
Rebedgen.
Excuse
And
me?
then the
What
last
did you call
one.
me? Yes.
I'm sorry.
Need more stars! Exclamation point says Destiny Morna.
Yay!
And it's a 5-star review.
Yay!
Not enough.
This is the best podcast panel. It deserves more than 5 stars. I thoroughly enjoy listening to Yael and Tauri and Andrew review each episode. They are
Why'd you say it like
truly
that? Did she
fans
not
of the
say
show, and it comes through in their enthusiasm and passion.
Yay!
It's fun to geek out with them and recap the episodes. I appreciate that they interact with us fans, with the stars and executives of the show as well. I never miss a podcast and look forward to Sundays almost as much as the show itself. 5 stars. Wish it could be more.
Oh, that's so
Aw,
sweet.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, guys. All right, let's jump into 2.
Okay,
Yeah.
if you
Yes.
insist.
Calm down.
All right.
Me first.
Girl.
Okay, so 2 is down, 5 discovers her, dashing my dreams of that ship. No? Okay. So her nanites are shutting down. I like that we tell Nyx what's going on because it made me realize at this point, Nyx has no idea. But also now that we've told her, I really don't trust her. I'm done. I'm done trusting her now that she knows.
Really?
Yes, I didn't trust her before, and now I don't trust her again.
Okay.
Yeah.
Little unreasonable, but your trust is very, it's flimsy. So I'm sure by next week you'll be fine.
That sounds totally reasonable. All right, so her nanites are shutting down. We end up getting this surge. She has 24 hours to live or to get better nanites before her nanites shut down, right? That's basically what we have.
Yes.
So we go to Dr. Will Wheaton's building on Earth. His name was Alex Rook. We will continue to refer to him as Dr. Will Wheaton. I just want that noted.
So you know, guys.
We're talking
Yes.
about Dr. Alex Rook, who made 2. Rebecca, as her name was.
Apparently.
Tari.
Making
So,
this so
I was
confusing.
I was telling Yael and Andrew that I regretted naming our regular android Royd Becca, or at least the human version of her, because we now have a Rebecca.
Because you forgot that her name was Rebecca.
Yes. And which probably explains why I chose the name Royd Becca, because I was like, android and Rebecca, whoa, the human android, because that's what I sound like when I'm not on the mic.
That's
exactly
true.
what you sound like.
Yes.
You're doing a voice right now.
Yeah, this is my host voice. This is my normal voice. But I digress. I wish I could go back in time and tell past me that Royd Becca would be perfect for 2 because that is her name and that's what she is.
Yes.
That's her
That's my
identity now.
sadness.
I'm sorry.
I live with
feel
my
you.
mistakes.
You know who else lives with his mistakes? Let's talk about Eric Waver,
Ah.
who was caught on future Tinder. That's right. If you guys notice, he's looking at faces and swiping.
Oh, man.
It's future. Guys, that's what Tinder's going to
He's
be
caught
like in
on
the future.
future Tinder. You're right.
It was so
Oh,
funny.
no.
Because that's when they...
He did look like a guy who was like, just maybe I'll like have a date
Right,
soon.
but like the way he's like, there's a knock at the door. Let's shut this down. No one needs to know I'm on Tinder.
Oh, true. I was like, what is he doing? And he's all right.
He's future Tindering.
He's future Tindering.
Or those are local girls waiting for his call.
Oh no! Oh
One
no!
of those. One of those
Pop-ups.
things.
The local
Come on, guys.
service droids
Yeah,
near you.
right? Yes. Okay, so we find out who he is. He was one of the people who helped build 2. He was part of the team. He fell in love with her.
Did he fall in love? Or was it a father-daughter thing? You think it was in love?
I think it was
Gross.
gross.
I thought it was nice.
I don't think it was gross.
I don't know if you guys have met me, but I always think it's gross.
Yeah.
Fair.
I'm Yael.
I thought it was nice. I thought there was like this, this reference to it. You know what I mean? Like he kind of looked at her like this person that shouldn't be suffering.
Right, and then he fell for her as he would feed her and teach her, and that's why she didn't kill him, is because they were meant to be.
I don't think so.
No.
I imagine this man is real lonely and sad.
He can be as lonely and sad as he wants, but he doesn't have to be creepy about it. I feel like he's just
I disagree. I think he has to be lonely, sad, and creepy.
Well, I respectfully disagree.
Yeah.
I thought he was a sweet guy, and I thought it was really tragic the way that it went down. I hope like everyone else that's been shot in this show, I don't believe he's dead. He'll come back, you guys.
I actually believe he's
It's
dead.
coming back, you guys.
Sorry.
I mean, I saw it as very much like if it's hard to say, call it like an animal trainer.
Yeah.
But that's how I saw it. Whereas like a gorilla who is being experimented on, and he ingratiates and teaches the gorilla like
And falls in love.
No.
No, not that kind of love.
Yeah,
but like
no.
loves the gorilla.
Yeah. Tell me more about how much he loves this gorilla.
What gorilla?
Yeah.
Sorry. I apologize.
I missed the scene with
I
the
will
gorilla.
stop talking.
Okay.
Sorry, go on.
Yes.
Okay.
I felt really bad for him because he was a very sympathetic character.
Oh, yeah.
And the fact that he did this thing that he really was not into and then ended up dying for it was this huge bummer.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
like the whole time they're coming in and he's like, I refuse. I won't help you. And they strong arm him, but he also was kind of a willing participant in
Yeah.
that he wanted her to survive.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, absolutely. I think
Yeah.
I think he was
That's his crime. He's caring about
very
her.
yeah. He cares about her, guys.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what I was saying.
But it's not. Yeah, anyway.
Yes.
Two things.
Uh-oh.
Everyone loves your future Tinder thing.
Thanks.
Yeah.
That's what I saw that it was. I was
Yes.
like, this is clearly future dinner.
Yeah, and people do not
Agree.
people do not agree that he fell in love. Ivan Soto specifically was like, it was definitely a father-daughter type relationship, because that's how Ivan Soto talks.
Thanks, Ivan Soto.
My apologies, Ivan Soto.
I'm not making fun of you. I just like personifying these words.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
sound effects.
Also, that felt very positive. I liked it.
Good.
So then we meet his coworkers who made me giggle so
Oh my
much.
gosh, I loved them.
Can we? Okay, so
Secret stars of this episode.
so we can agree. Sure, it wasn't a romantic love. I'll agree.
Yes.
But you will also agree. This part I was not making up. When she tells them to sit down, and they sat down.
Immediately. Immediately. It
and
was
then-
so cute and hilarious.
What line was it? Tari, what line was it that she says to them? And he looks like he clearly pooped himself.
It was something like, you don't have a choice or something to
yeah.
that effect. And he's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, the bigger one clearly pooped himself.
Yeah, if you go back, you'll see
no.
that he's wearing different pants in the next
Oh
scene.
no.
I'm telling you, he
Oh,
was
no.
so scared. He was
pooped
scared
himself.
itless.
You're saying that there's a scene in there where she's like, put on some new pants, where they just cut that out. They're like,
Yes.
we don't have time for that.
Yeah.
Just switch his pants.
Anyway,
Yeah.
the retinal scan, that may have been it when he was like, we need your
retinas.
eyes. Yeah. That was when he pooped himself. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm telling you that happened. If not, amazing performance. I believed it happened. Speaking of performances, let's talk about Dr. Bill Wheaton. I can't take him seriously, guys. When I look at Will Wheaton, I see Will Wheaton from The Big Bang Theory playing this character.
Interesting.
He does not look like a villain to me. He doesn't scare me.
Oh, go ahead.
You want me to be critical? It's not The Wire.
Here's what I'll say about that.
Which Will Wheaton was also in.
Is he?
He's not at all.
Are you sure?
Yes.
I'm gonna check. I'm gonna look it up on IMDb.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
What I was gonna say is that there's something really scary about Will Wheaton to me personally, about this like scruffy white dude who just has science money.
Tell me more, scruffy white dude.
Right? They're really scary, those guys. I mean, I don't want to come up against one, but no. There's something really scary about him, particularly because he doesn't he doesn't take himself seriously, and I agree.
Yeah.
That it would be really easy to look at it and think like, oh, he's just kind of being like foolish. But I think it's like this it's what I wish Jesse Eisenberg's Lex Luthor wasn't. It's that like I'm gonna be like a little like wide-eyed and crazy and devil may care and also kind of scruffy and like, do I give a crap about anything? No. And also I'm gonna kill people and it's gonna be crazy for you.
So you think what's scary about him is that he feels like I'm just gonna smile as I shoot you kind of guy.
More like he's like super petty and he's like vindictive and weird things will set him off and make him angry. Yeah, he just reminds me of like a school shooter. Like he just seems like what?
Wow.
He just like
on.
put a trench coat on that character, and he seems like he might just be like, this time I've made a creation that's gonna show you all. Like basically, he just seems very like angry and sad, and like he's lashing out because he's really lonely or something.
Yeah. To kind of piggyback off that, he reminds me of the Toyman character from comics, where he's kind of a man trapped in a boy's body, and everything in this world is a plaything for him, and so he can do with it how he fit. So he's like sometimes he's Sid from Toy Story, where he can destroy what he's created, and everything that is within his power to adjust or manipulate, he will, because it's fun for him. And so like I get that piece of him being menacing, and that he you can never really tell what he's going to do. But I also kind of agree with you in that have him being if he was not played by Will Wheaton, I think it would be easier to take him as a menacing character, but we've seen him in so many different roles that it's hard not to layer that on. It's the Will Smith effect.
Yes, I like that. But I also agree with what you're saying about the toys and stuff. The personal shield moment was when he was like, I built a personal shield. I wanted to test it out, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which I'm going to say now, I believe they stole from him. I believe they took a prototype.
Oh, I hope so.
They have to. There's no way we brought that amazing tech in and are not taking one.
I'm sure we'll use it again regardless, but I hope they have one. You're right.
Yes?
Little Smiles 86 says, yes, smarmy. That's exactly the word I would use to describe him.
Smarmy.
Smarmy.
It's a great word.
I wish he was more smarmy. He was not smarmy enough for me.
I can see that.
Thanks.
Yeah, I can see that. You need a little swarm.
I need a little more.
Yeah.
So Eric gets taken out. Okay.
Sadly.
Yeah, I like him. I like the idea of them having an ally in Dr.
In the
Wheaton's
office,
lab. Yeah. On Earth, I like the idea of them having an ally on Earth.
Theoretically, those other two guys are still alive.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, they're probably cleaning themselves up because they pooped themselves.
Because they pooped everywhere.
All over Eric's
It was
apartment.
a mess. That deleted scene is hilarious, you guys. Like, I believe, like, did you see how funny they were, though? I gotta believe that they filmed more and just weren't able to make it into time. So if there are deleted scenes, Malozzi, if you watch this later, please post them somewhere on your blog.
Somebody tell Malozzi.
Because I want to see the pooping scene.
Me too.
Yes.
You too?
Yeah.
We are comedians.
Yep.
Okay.
Not going to let that one slide.
No.
Gross phrasing.
So then we have this great fight, which I'd like to discuss, between 2 and the manbot, also known as the Yumbot.
I
That's
called
right.
him Model Lips version 2.0.
Guys, that's Justin Howell. Somebody find him on Twitter for me because I could not.
Justin making Yael howl with affection.
Nice.
No.
Yes.
No.
You were halfway.
Hashtag
Okay.
it, yeah.
Hashtag.
I called him Manbecca.
He's not gonna be confusing.
Hashtag Manbecca.
Ever.
Manbot.
Well, I won't need to use it again.
Model lips. I think his
Yumbot.
model lips were really the focal point of his. Well, maybe not for you.
I was like, who was looking at his face?
Yeah.
Hashtag Manbecca is currently trending in the studio.
Hooray!
Yumbot, guys.
Manbecca gun wreck.
Yumbot.
Yeah.
Gumbot?
Yumbot.
I also, for you Mega Man fans out there, referred to him as Proto-Man because he is a prototype and he
Nice.
is also a man. Proto-Man.
Yeah.
For you fans of Mega Man out
Thank you.
there.
So I thought he was weird.
I really was not a fan of his face.
Nope. And he also threw her by her face. Like, he just doesn't care about faces.
Yeah, he's not an efficient killer.
No.
I would say.
He's not efficient at any, like, I feel like they just, like, we're opening this, like, machine that he, like, is sleeping in, and he, like, was like, oh, I'm alive, and they're like, now go fight her, and he's like, fight? But what? And so I think that's the monster we got.
I really like that.
What's
I
happening?
really wish we would have seen that.
But he didn't have language yet, so
Right.
yeah.
Fight.
What a tragedy of that guy, really. Then you think about it, he was born to die.
Yeah.
Oh no.
He is someone I said is not dead, right? His nanites are totally going to heal him
Maybe.
because he was shot a bunch of times originally and it didn't affect him.
Right.
I don't know if you guys noticed, but it definitely bounced right off his beautiful pecs.
I mean, it didn't bounce off his beautiful head, though.
Well, I feel like
True. It went through.
Straight
through.
Straight through his head.
So they can heal that up.
heal around it.
I felt like they were using stun blasters
of the
originally
time,
against him,
yeah.
and then 4 came in with bullets.
Yeah.
And those were the ones that penetrated.
And then his sword.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I was like, 4, good call on the sword. Thank you for
bloody
bringing that
sword.
in.
Yeah.
Just in case. He's a zombie of some kind. I don't know how robots work in this world right
Apparently.
now. I just want to make sure it's dead.
Yumbot is not dead, guys. I don't think so. I think Eric is, but Yumbot is not.
If he comes back, I hope he comes back like a baby again, and he's just like, I don't know who you are, because the bullet went through my brain.
Because we already saw that.
The part of my brain
Yeah.
where
I
where
really like
remember
the
you.
idea of like a half face melted off version.
Ooh, like a Terminator, or
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a Two-Face.
You kind of like a I've been through some stuff face, but the
cool.
body still looks great.
And then we'll like give him a cool like eye patch.
Sure, but also we should take that shirt off him.
Sure. Yeah.
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 Of course.
Just kind of open shirted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Like a little vest.
Yeah.
Aladdin style.
Yes?
2 things.
Yes.
Always.
Tell us the things.
Wait.
Number
is
1.
this about the guys who poop themselves?
Because I love them.
Yeah.
All right.
First of all, everyone loves Manbecca. The chat is going
No,
crazy
I
with
don't-
Manbecca.
I don't believe you. I feel like you can say that because we're not in the chat.
Hey, the chat knows that
True.
I'm telling
we
the
just
truth.
have to take him at his word.
Yumbot. Go on.
You could be looking at nothing behind that screen.
Yeah.
His
guys,
computer does
no.
not work. Yes. The second thing.
Little Smiles 86 says, I think Yael wants to swipe right for Manbecca.
Oh, on feature Tinder.
Yeah.
And then extra bonus thing, not from the chat.
Mm-hmm.
It's a classic Bushido move.
Oh.
When you
Go on.
defeat your opponent
Yes.
to use your sword to sever their spine from their head.
Mm.
Right.
So you usually stab into the neck and then you twist so that you can make sure that your opponent is dead.
Mm-hmm. Is there any sounds or something that would accompany that? Maybe you could make those for us.
Oh, yes.
Please.
Something to the effect of...
Oh, great. Great.
Sorry to
All right, so
anyone
listen for
listening.
that
Yeah.
when you're doing your ritual disembalming.
Yes.
Or
Well,
disemboweling.
It's not
Or embalming.
No,
Yeah, you can
it's-
embalm.
it's
them.
neither
closest to
of those.
Disembalm or
decapitation.
whatever kind of embalming.
Okay,
Closest.
you're way off.
Yeah.
You're
Okay.
way off.
You know
Sorry.
what, guys?
right.
I don't know the ins and outs of murder, okay?
Yes.
Ken from Chicago says,
Yes.
Yael, clearly his shirt was so restrictive.
It was.
It really was. He would have lived through that fight had that shirt not been there.
Yeah.
Guys, his name is Justin Howell.
Justin, if you're watching
Justin
this,
Howell.
Hi, I'm Yael.
Hey, Justin.
All right.
Come by the show. Say hi to Yael for us.
Absolutely.
But we want to be here for that, so
no.
come hang out. Oh,
Okay.
oh, damn.
All right. So let's talk about. No, we're not going to talk about 3 yet.
No, yeah.
Before we move on to 3, I want to real quick touch on the the transfusion from the manbot. That's right. Tari was correct.
I am right.
He
all
called the
time.
vampires.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, studio audience, for the delay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Congratulations. How does it feel to be right?
It feels almost par for the course, I must say. I'm arrogant.
Okay. And the blink drive was put on the Marauder. That was a crazy twist.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the android this episode.
Okay.
So we see this moment with her and 5.
Yeah.
I like the android in 5. I'm not shipping it. Calm down.
Okay, fair.
That's all.
I appreciate you giving us that disclaimer at
Yes.
the end. No, I also like the relationship between them because I feel like they both feel like outcasts more so, not more so than the other team because that's I think a bad way to phrase it. But I think in a really similar vein, like they are vibrating on the same wavelength of loneliness.
Well, I would even say more so because when 2 is stuck, right, when she's sick and she's stuck back on the ship and she goes, they can't just go out there and do everything and leave me here. I was like, yeah, now you know how 5 feels.
Yeah.
This is how 5 feels every week.
time. Yeah.
You and the team go out and you're like, you need to stay safe.
Yeah. You're too young to like risk your life.
You're too weak to do this.
When really she was the most successful field mission agent they have. Well, maybe not the most, but one of the most. Yeah, she survived that one mission that both 3 and 4 got murdered on.
She shot 3 and 4.
Yeah, but still, they got murdered. The consequence of which aren't important.
She shot them.
You go with it for sure, but they still died on that mission.
She did get us the blink drive.
So, throwing that out there.
Yeah. You had something about the android you wanted to say.
Yes, I liked. I think before I was saying that she was acting real weird. I like that, even though she's not the like human-y version of herself, she's still showing so much emotion and she's relating to people on a human level. Like that moment when she was like hanging out with 5, and we had the cute little hot chocolate moment.
Oh my
but like
gosh.
that moment where she says everything's gonna be fine, and then you see she has her back to 5, and that look of worry in her face was really nuanced and really amazingly done.
Yeah.
Shout out to Zoe.
Yeah,
but,
Zoe's
like,
amazing.
Zoe, we love you.
Okay, calm down.
so just her progression from the beginning of the season to now
Yes.
is amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. And that hot chocolate scene, hilarious.
So funny.
So
I wrote that down. Did you know I have taste receptors? This many of them?
Yeah, would you like to try it?
yeah.
Mine.
Takes it, steals it completely.
Yeah, just takes
Walks
the
away
mug.
with it.
That's her mug.
I
Android.
wanted to believe she has more hot chocolate now. She drinks hot chocolate all the time.
Well, I also would like to believe that, unfortunately, at the end of the episode, she says, I've decided to charge, which is the best. She's like, this whole episode has made me realize, this whole adventure, I should charge more.
Yeah.
I'm going to go plug in. Let me know if you need me. I feel like that's what happens when people get new phones and they forget that they need to charge them. Right? You like get a new phone. You're like, yeah. Oh, wait, I have to charge this thing.
Yeah.
That's a thing that needs to happen.
But
guess
only
so.
with Android phones.
And, yeah.
Ah!
Thank you.
Great job.
I'm here all week, guys.
Hashtag comedian.
Thanks.
And then, we'll get into more of the android, but we need to talk about 3. But she wakes up and she seems human. That's how the episode ends. But let's talk about 3. Yes, go.
Really quickly, I just wanted to say that there's a really great moment between 2 and the android where she says that her power, like her real strength is willpower. I thought it was really cool and interesting, and also maybe indicative of something for the future. I think that maybe that'll come back though, because the willpower of 2 is pretty undeniable.
Yeah.
She's kind of a force of nature.
I also really appreciated when 3 was like, what? She has nanites, you need nanites. Problem solved. I'm 3. I don't understand science. Yep, I love that.
Agreed.
Because 3, I also don't understand science. Timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly, sciencey-wimey.
Yeah, it requires reading, and we know you don't know how to do that.
I don't know how to read. Let's talk about 3 and the
Yay.
Parasite.
Oh man. For the Parasite, then let's talk about what was that mini Cthulhu monster?
Here's a question. How did they insert it into him?
Did it have to be inserted, or is it the kind of thing that like worms its way into you?
Yeah, how did it worm its way in?
Do you think orally?
Yes,
No.
it was
don't think orally?
all orally.
Eerily?
No. Go on.
No, nasally?
Okay.
Okay. We've
IV.
exhausted all.
I'm gonna get IV.
IV?
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 We're thinking IV.
Osmosis?
Anywho.
What were you thinking?
Or IP?
IP? IP address?
Yes.
Yes, it was through the Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Yes.
He doesn't have a firewall, so it's good.
Anywho,
All right.
so that when 3 is brought back to the ship and something is clearly wrong, we find out that his neural activity is consistent with REM sleep. Yeah, so 3 is in there. He's just not awake.
He's basically passed out.
He is a stasis pod. Yes.
Okay. So I like to refrain from bringing in other nerd things.
Please bring in other nerd things.
But it was very much so. There were 2 things that this Parasite was reminiscent of. One was the Black Mercy from the DC universe, where it's this plant. It's a telekinetic plant that essentially puts you in a dream state and allows you to be controlled. But also, it was very much like the symbiote from the Marvel universe that essentially joins with you and your body, and it allows you to have extra abilities and things of that sort, and it's a black goo that comes from space. So I'd like to think that Dark Matter is a prequel to Spider-Man.
Interesting.
I love this. Nerd.
Also point out that if you guys remember Animorphs, the Yeerks actually did this exact same thing, where they are tiny slug monsters that go through your ear into your brain in the nooks and crannies to control your mind, and that is like the main villains of the Animorphs world. So we're gonna get some shape-shifting characters, you guys. Someone's gonna turn into a red-tailed hawk. Calling it now.
When we
I
saw
hope so.
3, when he was in their prison on their ship and he starts screaming, I pretty sure I shouted, "Werewolf!"
Werewolf.
I thought of you.
It was
I got so
almost
excited.
true, you guys.
Yeah.
So close to werewolves.
Yeah. Is there something in the chat that you want to share? I saw you smile, which makes me unhappy.
I feel like there's a lot of funny stuff going on in there.
Your smiles scare me.
Oh, do they?
Yes.
They're just a little creepy. I have Will Wheaton smiles.
They're Will Wheaton smiles. Oh no.
No, I mean, Ken from Chicago says, oh, I read that wrong. But
what does Ken from Chicago say?
It says, rectally?
Actually, that
Little
was what you
Smiles
were
86
thinking.
says, retinally?
Retinally. There
Nice.
you
Yes,
go.
I read those as the same.
Yeah.
So both of them said the same thing in your head?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
And then we have other examples of what this alien could be.
Sure.
So Ken from Chicago also says Black Oil from X-Files.
Nice.
And then Ken from Chicago's again says Wrath of Khan Brain Slugs. Renji 90998 says I loved Animorphs.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Me too.
Yay!
Me too.
Yeah.
Hashtag Tobias.
Okay. Yeah, no.
It's called reading, okay?
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, she doesn't know
All
how to
right.
do
I
that.
don't know.
She only listens to podcasts.
I'm trying, you guys.
I do.
help.
Anyway, so they try to put 3 in a stasis pod, but the parasite tries to escape. I'm calling it a parasite because I can't think of what else to call it.
Yeah, squid monster. It was like a purple
But it was
Cthulhu squid monster,
Purple.
storm
What are
monster.
your colors?
It was like black and purple. There's purple. If there was not purple, you tweet at me
Oh, maybe
a picture of it because
The
I
hand suctiony thing. had
suctiony
a-
thing. There's
Right.
purple in there. Yeah.
Yeah, but the like smoke was black.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, also the Black Smoke Monster from
Black smoke monster.
Lost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there was definitely an element of like it was like some sort of storm or something. Like it had like obviously it maybe has some sort of like shifting like elements powers where it can become like a mist or a fog or something.
Mm-hmm.
And then it came out as a goo as well when it was trying to
Yeah.
escape through his mouth.
That's just so
Yeah.
strange.
I guess as it was trying to escape through its mouth and eyes, throughout 3's mouth and eyes and nose, I guess that's how it got in. Fine.
I guess.
Speaking of 3's eyes,
Mm-hmm.
there's
3's beautiful.
that's what I was gonna say. Is like
Anthony
it
has
was,
some great eyes.
he has,
He has really
it was
pretty eyes.
highlighted by the black behind it.
Mm-hmm.
Kudos to the special effects team because the
Yeah.
effect was really cool.
really
but
rad.
like seeing the dark behind his blue eyes like made them pop. And it made me realize that he has really pretty eyes.
Really,
Anthony.
when we were looking at him doing the retinal scan, I was like, wow, those eyes are dreamy.
Oh, hello. Yeah.
Yeah, because we got to see him do it like 3 times because it kept getting rejected.
He's got some pretty eyes.
He does.
He's a fellow with pretty eyes.
Anthony. Anyway, what were we talking about?
We're talking about what its origins could possibly
the
possibly
parasite.
Do you
Well,
think
so-
he made it?
Here's what's weird. They spaced it.
be.
Yes.
Yes.
I don't think it's dead.
I don't think it is either.
Habeas corpus.
Well, let's talk about.
No,
I mean,
'cause
do you think?
What a sorry to interrupt you. It's just what a waste of an introduction, and what a waste of bringing it on and them going, what is it? I have no idea, and they killed it, and now that storyline is over. I feel like that's a waste.
It's not over. It's definitely not over.
You think
'Cause
it's still in him?
Well, that's interesting too. I don't think it's still in him personally, but that's just because I hope it's not still in him. I think it's either like. I think that little squid monster, either there are a ton more, or, like it's like a hive that they like get on some weird planet or something, or it's something that he created, which is almost worse. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's something that he's able to replicate and then just be like, hey, I got another one for you. Guess what? This one's stronger, and I like programmed it to have all the memories of your last encounter with it, so it's gonna like know what you were doing. And like it's gonna be the Incredibles sort of monster where it like it learns from its past mistakes.
Oh, the worst.
And grows.
Sentinels.
Learns. Ugh.
I can make nerd references too.
I hate
Nice.
learning.
Sentinels.
What do you
Guys, I'm a
guys?
big X-Men fan.
What do you guys think? We can tell.
I say wearing a rogue shirt.
What do you guys think its intention was? Do you think it was just to sabotage the ship? Do you think it was to observe and report, or something else?
I think it was supposed to be taking over 3 and kind of replacing him because he's still there, but he's sleeping.
Right.
So I think it was supposed to replace him to report back, to sabotage, to just take note.
Okay.
To start up drama. It was the thing that was like, well, you're trusting him again
Yeah.
to 6.
Yep.
You can't trust anything he says.
He was pretty volatile. Yeah.
Right.
No, I totally think you're right. I think he was like basically a spy,
Yeah.
like sent by them to like record. Maybe there's even a function where they're like watching on the other side, like what the thing is seeing through him or something. Especially if he created it,
Yeah.
it could be like that technologically linked in some way. He has weird like force field shields, so yeah, it's possible. I think that its mission was just reconnaissance, that it was trying to like figure things out. Maybe sabotage and shutting stuff down, but I think mostly just like learning their secrets and what they have, what they know, and where it is. So
Well, to piggyback off that, we do have this great moment where the android has been cataloging the illegal tech from storage, which, first off, 3 is correct that he needs to see that list.
Yeah.
But also, like, that's a huge throwaway line that we're supposed to ignore, but like, she's been cataloging all of the
things.
illegal tech
Yeah,
that they have.
a list of everything,
Which means
illegal
they
that
have quite a bit if you need to
yes, if you
log
have
it.
an inventory.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like this parasite has to play into something. And I feel like maybe it plays into next episode. Which means maybe we want to head into predictions.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Riding the waves
All right.
of creepy sounds.
Before we get into predictions, I want to take a moment to let everyone know something very important. Next week, we will be doing our show on Tuesday, September 6th at 9 p.m. Pacific time. So mark your calendars. We will not be doing the Dark Matter After Show on Sunday. It will be Tuesday, September 6th at 9 p.m. Pacific time.
Whoa.
Yes.
Mark it.
Yeah. So you can enjoy your Labor Day weekends without worrying about missing our show.
Sorry.
It's a big worry, I imagine. They're like,
Yes.
I want to go to Disneyland, but the after show for Dark Matter's on.
Yeah.
What do I do?
Right.
You can still go to Disneyland.
Enjoy your long weekend.
They're all thinking, oh, I have all these barbecues to go to on Monday. I won't have any time Sunday to do anything. But prepare my pants to be extending from
Okay.
all those barbecues.
Predictions.
That's what I
in
do.
the promo, we see the android who is in that bed and she's kissing a man. Is that man Victor? It looked like it was Victor. Is this a dream? It looked like it was a dream. The red android makes an appearance and she's talking to 2 and she says, I do believe you've been targeted. 5 says, if we delete her personality matrix, it's the same as killing her. Correct.
Yes.
And 4, I guess, is sent to delete the neural imprints because that's what's happening. And he looks like he doesn't really want to. That is what we have from the promo. Prediction.
So
Yes.
my main prediction is if I were to lay out how I think the episode is gonna go.
Yeah.
I think that now that, because they laid the seed that the android's going into her recharging station.
Yeah.
So she's going to have an actual dream. My assumption is that in this dream, since she's connected to the ship, those personality profiles or brain neural imprints
Yeah.
are going to invade this dream, and so she is going to be fighting those imprints in her dream, which means that the ship itself will be targeting the people in real life, and so that's going to be the main piece of the conflict.
Okay. I like it. I can totally see it. I want to think that part of the parasite somehow latched onto some part of the ship and is infiltrated while she went to charge, jumped in there and started making her see, because we understand that it can work while you're dreaming or while you seem like you're in REM. And so I like the idea that the parasite is controlling her and she's now stuck in this dream state and can't get out.
I love it.
And that is why the ship is now targeting them. And I think that the Four stuff that we've been hearing about, his whole divided loyalties and if he should go back and blah, 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 whiny in my head. I think that is why when he is sent to delete the neural imprints, he doesn't do it. And I think that is the betrayal. Boom.
Interesting.
Ooh.
Thank you.
I just want to say,
Thank you. God, this studio audience is like delayed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're very agreeable.
yeah,
Thanks.
they're really far
Specifically
away
with me.
I think is
Shut
what
up.
it is.
Yeah.
One of the
Yes.
things that I wanted to say, my theory about the wooden cabin that the android wakes up in and the man that she's with.
Yes.
I think that maybe the upgrade has to do with it. Maybe there's an internet, like a matrix, if you will, that they can upload into and like be together basically physically in a different world,
So
if that
that-
makes sense.
Kiva
Via
and
internet.
Victor can be together.
Right. If you look at her hair, her hair is not normal android hair.
It
It
is
is
Kiva
letting
hair.
my hair down hair.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Which I'm gonna say, if we get some Kiva Victor
Yeah.
playtime, I'm in.
So I would love for them
Let's
to
do
be
it.
connecting through the like internet basically.
Yeah.
And then have that creature muck that noise up, because that would be crazy interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the idea, your idea of them basically using the android as a backdoor. So it's like they're all on a local Ethernet or like intranet, and so they're hacking that, using her as a foray, in order to essentially, even if it was the Black Mercy or like the goo, or it was someone else who wanted to access the memories that they have in those brain imprints.
Yeah.
Because I imagine that there's a lot of loot that they have information on and other stuff that people could want. So essentially hacking those means that you have all the information that they've ever had.
So do you think that Victor, going on your idea, that Victor and the other humanoids, human androids, it was an intentional move to give her the upgrade?
Well, if you're asking my
Yes.
opinion, I don't think that. I think that her dream would be to be with Victor because she likes him.
Yeah.
I think that it's more related to the fact that the Weasley guy, whose name I do not remember, their agent, essentially.
Yeah.
Now that he knows that she has the upgrade, so I think that he could be selling that information to someone.
Their stupid agent. I got a lot of hatred for hating on him.
Yes.
Predictions from the chat.
Yes. Deripa06, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that, says maybe have something to do with the time they forgot their recent memories when the android went offline. Let's see. Boop, 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 boop. Boop, boop, boop.
Yes?
I'm just reading things.
You're just saying boop.
Everyone believes that Four will definitely be the traitor. Ivan Soto does not want Four to get his memories back. Ivan Soto also reminds me that Calchek is the name of the Weasley agent.
Yes.
Cal check.
Coat check. Yeah.
Coat check.
Yes,
Coat
coat
check.
check.
Guy. He's the coat check guy.
Yeah.
And Kevin from Chicago says, so 2 and Android can be together. Yay. Together in Electric Dreams?
Aww.
Which is a
Electric
reference.
Dreams.
Why did 2 and an Android have to be together?
Why not though?
Because they're best friends. In the other universe,
That's true.
the android
They're
owes
besties.
2 her life, which they probably shared nanites orally.
Whoa.
Like by
Kissing?
By
kissing.
making out.
By kissing.
That's the
Yes.
other way that you share nanites.
Yep.
So that,
Yes, that's an excited face.
Little Smiles 86 says, is it possible that the android may be the traitor, but she's unaware she's betrayed?
Ooh, I love
Oh,
that.
absolutely.
I love that.
That's totally possible.
Possibly.
Yes.
If she's linked up to their matrix and then
And if it's
stuff
red
goes
android,
down.
maybe red android's the
Stuff goes down.
freaking traitor.
Yes.
Red android.
Oh,
Nope.
Rebecca.
Both of you.
Ready.
Rebecca.
Or as Melosi would say, Randroid.
Randroid. Yeah, that one's
Yes.
that one's pretty good.
I imagine that's what he sounds like.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, the only other thing I wanted to say about this episode, aside from the Yumbot, Justin Howell, was
Third
that-
time you said that.
Yeah. Also, speaking of Anthony and his beautiful eyes, what were those stupid pants?
On 3?
Anthony, yes, sorry, 3's stupid pants.
Anthony's pants.
What? You didn't like that sweet,
Anthony
sweet,
wore them there that
zippery,
day.
snug, camo-y type
Yeah.
pants?
Not a
Come
fan.
on.
Come on.
Come on.
Man.
Sorry. Okay. On that note, guys, thank you so much for joining us. You know where to find us next week. Special time, September 6th at 9 p.m. That is a Tuesday, 9 p.m. Pacific time. I believe that's late as F East time.
Yes.
That's what that sounds like to me. But until then, you can find Tauri J online.
Yes, you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at TauriJ. It's TauriJay.
And Andrew Mena.
At Andrew Mena. ADREWMENA.
That was beautiful.
Thank you.
And I'm Yael Tygiel. You can find me everywhere at Yael Tygiel. That's YAELTYGIEL. And again, September 6th, Tuesday, 9 p.m. for more Dark Matter. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.